Have you ever scrolled through Netflix or Spotify and just thought to yourself, why doesn't anything feel like a classic anymore? Back then, songs like Justin Bieber's Beauty and the Beat, The Wanted's Glad You Came, they weren't just tracks, they were moments, and they soundtracked my teenage years. Movies like Kick-Ass and The Secret Life of Walter Mitty taught us that cinema can just be fun, but also teach us how to dream bigger. But nowadays, when a song is good or a film is great, they trend for a week, maybe a month, and then they just vanish into an endless scroll of content. So why does it feel so different now? That's a topic for today's video. So let's rewind a little. Before streaming took over, we lived in a world of limited options. Music lived on the radio, on MTV, and on iTunes. Movies lived in theaters or in a DVD store. Because of that, when a big song dropped, everyone heard it. When a blockbuster released, everyone saw it. There's a sense of collective experience. We could sing along to the same songs, laugh at the same lines, the same memes. Culture felt unified, concentrated, and powerful. But today, it's different. We live in a world of fragmented attention. Spotify gives us 100 million songs. YouTube, TikTok, and SoundCloud churn out millions more from independent artists every year. Streaming services release so many films and shows that you couldn't possibly keep up. Instead of one collective spotlight, we now live in the millions of little flashlights. Each community, each algorithm, each niche shining on something different. That doesn't mean art is worse. It just means that it rarely reaches out to everyone at once. And there's another big difference. In the 2010s, a song would take weeks to climb the radio charts. That slow build gave it staying power. And even if you didn't like it, you couldn't escape it. It was everywhere. Songs like Carly Rae Jepsen's Call Me Maybe. Now, virality has replaced longevity. A song can blow up on TikTok for 2 weeks, become a global trend, and then disappear as soon as the next song arrives. It's like fast food for the ears. Quick, addictive, but rarely remembered. And movies, it's the same. A new release might trend for a weekend on Netflix, dominate Twitter or X for a few days, and then vanish, buried under the next big drop. In a way, we've traded a slow burn for cultural classics for the instant spark of viral hits. But here's where it gets personal. Part of the reason why we think music and movies were better back then is because of us. Psychologists talk about something called the reminiscence bump. It's the idea that the music, movies, and experiences we have during our teenage and young adult years become permanently etched into our identity. That's why songs from 2010 and 2015 feel so powerful. They didn't just sound good, they shaped who we were becoming. They remind us of our first heartbreak, our first adventure, our first moment of feeling like the world was bigger than ourselves. Kinda like how our parents talk about life in the 80s, where everything felt so free, slow for them. And yes, technology wasn't so present than it is now, but they spent majority of the teenage years happy. So maybe it isn't that the classics don't exist anymore. Maybe it's that the classics are always the songs and films that came when we needed them the most. Still, there's something structural too. Back then, when a movie like Freaky Friday released, studios would plaster them everywhere. Billboards, TV spots, magazine covers, newspapers. You couldn't miss it. Now, a sequel might quietly drop on Disney Plus, and unless you're scrolling at the right time, you'd never know it even exists. We live in a world where marketing is targeted, not universal. You see what the algorithm thinks you want to see, and that means fewer moments where everyone knows what's happening in pop culture. So where does this leave us? Maybe we don't live in a world of classics anymore, and that's okay. At least, not in the same way. Maybe the future of art isn't about one song or a movie defining an entire generation. Maybe it's about personal classics, the songs that don't just trend on TikTok, but resonate with you deeply. The films that dominate the box office, but quietly change the way you see life. In a strange way that's more intimate, more personal. Instead of one collective memory, we each get to curate our own cultural canon. So the next time you stumble upon a song that moves you, a film that lingers into your soul, don't worry about the world if it doesn't call it a classic. Remember, it only takes one heart for art to become timeless. Because maybe the truth is, the classics never went away. They just become ours.